Hey, English learners! Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast, your cozy place to learn simple English through real-life conversations, useful vocabulary, and gentle motivation. I'm John.
And I'm Sarah. John, can I ask you a question today?
I think that's definitely becoming our official tradition. Go right ahead.
Have you ever pretended to enjoy something just because everybody else around you liked it?
Oh, more than once. Honestly, I think almost everyone has done that at some point.
Really? What happened with you?
Back when I was at university, everyone in my dorm was constantly talking about a specific TV series. They kept saying, "It's incredible, you absolutely have to watch it." So I decided to check it out.
Did you actually like it?
Honestly, not at all. But every time someone asked, "What did you think of the new episode?" I just smiled, nodded, and said, "Oh, it's great."
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want to be the only person sitting there with a completely different opinion.
I think so many people can relate to that feeling. Often it feels much easier to blend in than to stand out.
Exactly. And that leads us right into our topic for today.
Today's episode is titled The Courage to Be Different. I really love this subject because being yourself sounds so simple in theory, but in practice it can be quite challenging.
Especially when everyone around you expects you to think, act, or live in a very specific way.
This episode is tailor-made for B1 to B2 English learners.
And if you are a strong A2 learner, please don't worry about catching every single word. Just sit back, listen, and enjoy the conversation. Whether you're out taking a walk, sipping your coffee, commuting to work, or actively practicing your English, thank you so much for joining us today.
Let me ask you, John, why do you think human beings have such a strong desire to fit in?
I think it's deeply natural. Humans have always had a basic need to belong. Feeling accepted by a group makes us feel safe and secure.
That's so true. Nobody enjoys the feeling of being left out or isolated.
Exactly. When everyone around us shares the exact same mindset, it's very easy to just follow along. It feels safe and comfortable.
But sometimes following the crowd means ignoring our own authentic voice.
I couldn't agree more. Maybe you enjoy a totally different genre of music, or you have unique career dreams, or you prefer spending quiet weekends at home while your friends want to go out partying. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yet people constantly worry, what if they think I'm weird? What if they don't understand me?
Exactly. We live in constant fear of being judged by others.
Here's something I've frequently noticed. People spend so much of their time and energy trying to be liked by everyone else that they completely forget to ask themselves one crucial question.
What question is that?
Am I actually being my true, authentic self?
Wow, that is such a powerful question because if we're constantly wearing a mask, people never get the chance to know who we really are deep down.
Exactly. They only get to know the fake version we've created for them, not the real person underneath.
And putting on an act every day can be utterly exhausting. Trying to please every single person, trying to always say the right thing, and constantly trying to avoid disappointing people. It's draining.
Extremely draining, because no matter how hard you try or how much effort you put in, you will never be able to make everyone happy.
That's completely impossible. Someone will always disagree with your choices, and someone will always prefer a different path.
Which means we are left with a clear choice. Spend our entire lives trying to please everyone around us, or spend our lives being honest about who we truly are.
I definitely know which of those choices brings more inner peace.
Me too. And the funny thing is, people often deeply respect authenticity, even if they don't necessarily agree with your personal choices.
That's so true. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room, nor do you have to pretend to be super confident. You simply have to be genuine.
And perhaps that's what true courage actually is.
Not being completely fearless, but choosing to be yourself even when it would be infinitely easier to just copy everyone else.
I love that thought. The world doesn't need another duplicate copy. It needs the real you.
That's a wonderful place to pause for a moment, because right after the break, we'll talk about how comparing ourselves to others prevents us from recognizing our own unique strengths.
We were discussing the importance of being true to yourself, but I think there's another major reason why people hide their real identity.
Comparison.
Exactly. We constantly compare our daily lives, our jobs, our physical appearance, our achievements, and even our English skills to other people.
Oh, absolutely. I've heard so many language learners say, I just wish I could speak English as fluently as that person.
There's nothing wrong with admiring someone's skills or using them as inspiration, but comparison becomes toxic when it convinces us that we aren't good enough.
That is so true. We usually only witness other people's highlight reels. We don't see their private struggles, their embarrassing mistakes, or the years of grueling practice behind their success.
Exactly. Imagine someone who starts learning English today, and they immediately compare their progress to someone who has been studying for 10 years. Of course, they're going to feel discouraged.
It's like planting a tiny seed in the soil today, looking up at a giant 100-year-old tree and asking, why am I not as tall as that tree?
That is such a brilliant illustration. Every massive tree started out as a tiny, fragile seed.
Growth takes time, and every single person grows at their own unique pace.
Sarah, can I ask you another question?
I knew another one was coming. Go right ahead.
Have you ever felt out of place or different because of a passion or hobby you enjoyed?
Definitely. When I was younger, most of my friends loved going out to noisy clubs and crowded parties. I always preferred staying home to read, going for long nature walks, or having a quiet one-on-one chat. For a long time, I honestly thought there was something wrong with me.
Simply because you weren't acting like everyone else in your social group.
Exactly. But as I grew older, I realized I wasn't wrong or broken at all. I was just different. And that's such an important lesson. Being different doesn't mean you're better, nor does it mean you're worse. It simply means you are different.
I really wish more people understood that truth. Imagine how much happier and more relaxed we'd all be if we stopped attempting to fit into someone else's idea of a good life.
Yes, because your unique strengths won't look like my strengths. Your personal dreams won't look like my dreams, and that is 100% okay. I once read a fantastic quote that said, if you spend your entire life trying to be someone else, the world completely loses the only version of you.
I love that quote so much. The world already has plenty of everyone else. It only gets one unique version of you.
Sometimes being different means choosing an unconventional career path. Sometimes it means picking up a new language when people around you say, you're too old for that. Sometimes it means starting fresh or having the courage to say, no, this lifestyle just isn't right for me anymore.
And yes, making those choices can feel intimidating. People might not understand your path. They might ask awkward questions, or they might even criticize you openly.
But here's something I've learned over time. People's opinions are constantly shifting, but your life is yours to live.
Beautifully said. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with your choices, not them.
Exactly. So perhaps the main goal shouldn't be to get accepted by every single person around you. Perhaps the real goal is to respect yourself.
I couldn't agree more.
In our final segment, we'll explore how having the courage to be authentic can actually inspire the people around you, even when you don't realize it. Now let's talk about a fascinating phenomenon. Very often, the exact trait that makes you feel awkward or different today turns out to be your greatest strength tomorrow.
That has happened to countless historical figures, artists, scientists, inventors, authors, business pioneers, and great leaders. So many of them were initially told they were too different.
Too quiet, too creative, too curious, too ambitious, or just plain strange.
Isn't it ironic? The very qualities that critics initially judge are frequently the exact traits that lead to someone's ultimate success later in life.
Exactly. Just imagine if those pioneers had given up on their unique traits simply to fit into the crowd. The world would have missed out on their groundbreaking ideas, their art, their kindness, and their unique perspectives.
And I believe the exact same principle applies to all of our listeners tuning in today. Maybe you're starting your English journey later in life. Maybe you're the only person in your family or circle of friends trying to master a second language. Maybe your friends don't quite get why you dedicate time to practicing every single day.
And that is completely fine. You don't need everyone around you to understand your personal journey. You only need to keep in mind why you started in the first place.
I love that, because your personal goals and dreams belong to you, not to anyone else.
Sometimes having the courage to be different simply means standing tall and saying, "This is the path I want for my life."
And sometimes it means choosing kindness when those around you choose anger.
Or choosing patience when everyone else is rushing around.
Or choosing to keep learning instead of pretending you already know everything. Those choices might seem minor on a daily basis, but over time, they define the person you become.
John, there's something I've come to realize over the years. People frequently inspire those around them without even realizing it.
That is so true. When one person has the bravery to be genuinely themselves, it quietly grants permission for everyone else around them to do the exact same thing.
Exactly. Confidence is contagious. Kindness is contagious. And courage is contagious. Maybe someone listening to this very episode today is wondering if they're good enough, if they're too old to master English, or if they've somehow missed their window of opportunity.
If that sounds like you, we want to share something directly with you. You do not need to transform into someone else. You don't need to copy another learner's exact accent or style, nor do you need to speak like anyone else. You simply need to keep learning and progressing as your true self.
Because your unique accent, your personal life story, your background, and your individual personality are all core parts of who you are. Don't feel the need to hide them.
Being different isn't a flaw or a weakness. It's precisely what makes you interesting and compelling as a person.
And real, lasting confidence doesn't begin when every person in the room accepts you. It begins the moment you accept yourself.
Beautifully expressed. So today, instead of asking yourself, how can I blend in and be like everyone else? Try asking, how can I become the absolute best version of myself?
Because the world definitely doesn't need another carbon copy. It needs the person that only you can become.
And that is the true essence of the courage to be different.
Now, it's time for today's Word Walk, where we unpack 5 highly practical vocabulary words from today's conversation.
Word number 1, authentic.
Authentic means being real, genuine, and true to your own values, rather than putting on a fake personality. For example, she stayed authentic to herself even when others disapproved of her choices.
Word number 2, courage.
Courage is the mental or emotional strength to face fear, difficulty, or uncertainty and take action anyway. For example, it took a lot of courage for him to give a speech in English in front of his colleagues.
Word number 3, unique.
Unique means being one of a kind, distinct or unlike anything else. For example, every individual possesses a unique set of skills and life experiences.
Word number 4, belong.
To belong means to feel accepted, comfortable, and connected within a specific group, community, or place. For example, after joining the language club, she finally felt like she belonged.
And word number 5, inspire.
To inspire means to fill someone with the urge or enthusiasm to do something positive, creative, or courageous. For example, her dedication to learning English inspired her children to study harder as well.
Let's do a quick recap of our 5 terms for today. Authentic, real, genuine, and true to yourself. Courage, the willingness to take action despite feeling afraid. Unique, one of a kind and distinct from others. Belong, feeling accepted and connected in a group. And inspire, encouraging others to take positive action.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We truly hope this conversation reminded you that being different isn't something to fear or apologize for. It's something to celebrate.
Every single time you make the conscious choice to be your authentic self, you take one more step toward a happier, far more fulfilling life.
And remember, your English learning journey doesn't need to mirror anyone else's path. Progress at your own natural pace. Keep practicing and keep evolving. If you enjoyed today's discussion, please make sure to subscribe to the English Daily Podcast, leave us a review, and share this episode with a friend who might use a little boost of encouragement today.
We'd also love to interact with you in the comments. Tell us, what is one unique thing about yourself that makes you different, and why are you proud of it? Leave your answer in English below.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm John. You've been listening to the English Daily Podcast.
And remember, your English goals and your life goals are both much closer than you think. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.